communication process. These are source, message, channel, receiver, feedback, environment, context, and interference. Now we'll just see one by one. Source. Here it means a source is a sender. In this process of communication, the source or sender is the person who speaks in order to create and impart a specific message to their audience. In this case, you can see that if you are just working in the college and with your when you enter in class, when you see your friends, that time your expressions, your body language is different, and it gives impression to others, like whether you're happy or you are welcoming by your friends, or uh, you are coming for the class with the expression of knowing, want to know learn something. Same way clothing, like when you go for a marriage party, you wear different kind of dress. If you go to go to college for the presentation, that time you have a different your clothing style. And the tone of voice, that is also gives message to others. So body language, clothing, and tone of voice, all these are giving impression or some communication message to others. According to Barlow, communication is virtually impossible without a source. Communication must have that sender. Next, we are having, before speaking or writing, the source has to decide what they want to convey and how they wish to formulate their message. Then the source encode this information using words and putting them in a specific order to achieve the desired meaning. Only after taking these steps can a source deliver the message to the audience. Here, before communicating to other person, suppose if you really wanted to communicate with your head or your director or your principal or your boss, that time you must be having some format in your mind, or and message content also, what you would like to do and when you would like to communicate. So it means before speaking or writing, you have to decide what to convey and what format you wanted to give. A call by phone, you want to give message, or you wanted to write a WhatsApp message, or you are going to mail. It all depends on you, like how you decided to deliver or send message. Second element is message. The message is the source purpose of communication, and during the communication process, the source convert this purpose into speech or text. Suppose example, if you really wanted to communicate to your boss regarding your pay or rise or increment, so it means in your mind you have agenda, you have a purpose, and that purpose you're going to, either you're going to speak in front of your boss or you're going to mail. So it means that mass is the source purpose of communication. The use of emojis means, for instance, written communication can change and reshape the message through use of emojis, or writing style, formatting the message. So this is all about your message. Third, we are having channel. The channel is the manner by which the message travels from the source to the receiver. In his examination of communication model, Barlow touches on channel, stating that channel is a medium, a carrier of message. It is correct to say that message can exist only in some channels. However, the choice of channels often is an important factor in the effectiveness of communication. So, we'll take an example. If you really wanted to show that how eager you are waiting for a person who is far from you, so that time you are going to write that you're going to use the channel. That's very important. So are you going to call, because if you're missing someone, you're going to call, so that means you are using medium of phone call. Or you wanted to explain everything, so you're going to use SMS or WhatsApp messages. You want to see someone, you can have a video call. if you really wanted to be in the meeting and you have interview, so you can be present physically, or you can do it on a Skype or other channel. So that's the way of uh, carrying masses. So this is called medium. Then we are having receiver. As the name suggests, receiver is a person whose task is to receive the source message. Receiver is just as important as source in the communication process, because their action can make or break the interaction. Here we can take an example of no matter how carefully you choose your words, the communication situation may go awry, as you have no control over how the interlocutor interpret the message, behave after hearing the message, or uses their cultural experience and knowledge to participate in communication. The above points determine whether the receiver will choose to provide feedback to the source and actively participate in the communication action. No further communication can occur if the receiver decides not to respond and withhold feedback. Here, receiver means, suppose if you are communicating to your boss, so boss is the receiver. If you are giving message to your friend, friend is the receiver. If you are giving a message to the audience, so audience are receivers. So this is all about the receiver. And receivers, if receiving messages and giving feedback, that is the complete communication. Feedback is the response to the receiver's returns to the source. Unintentional or intentional, and non-verbal or verbal, it can be both. Feedback means responding back to the sender. So feedback is a vital in letting the source know how the receiver has interpreted the message. Interpretation is also important. Whatever message you are sending to the receiver, that receiver have to give feedback, so that you know that whatever message you sent received by the receiver correctly. Another important function of feedback is communication is to give the receiver the chance to request additional information or clarification. Sometimes when you give message, or when you deliver message or deliver class lectures to the student, and if they are not very clear to the concept, they will ask questions, and that is the feedback. It means they want more clarification from you. The role feedback plays in the communication process cannot be overstated. So this is all about feedback. Then we have environment. Environment refers to the mental and physical context in which we communicate, both as the sender and the receiver of the message. It encompasses the setting, atmosphere, and conditions that may influence the interpretation and reception of information. So environment here, it means here, if you are sending message and the receiver is not in a good uh, mood, or that is the mental situation, or he is outside or in traffic, that time it is going to be problem for receiver to interpret it properly. 7 is the context. While some confuse context for environment when talking about the communication process, context refers to the scene, setting, expectation of the conversation participants. For example, when you head into the office, you expect those present to be smartly dressed and speak and act in a specific way. So that is the context, how formal or informal you are when you are in communication process. Interference means noise. The final component of the communication process is interference. Is also sometimes called noise, because noise means if you are in traffic, you are in mall or some shopping center, and that time you get a call, that time you say that call is not clear because of noise. It can be a reason. When you are in train, interconnection is not proper, that time also is a kind of a pollution, it's a kind of a disturbance. So this is all about communication process and the